Shalom. We are the I.S.U.P.K. coming out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, and Commander GEN.YAHANNA. And today's topic is judges and officers. The scriptures tell us to set up judges and officers within thy gates, right? Means within our gates. For us to be a judge and an officer up under another nation of people is a good thing for us to do. Because we will have to go up under the judgments of that people. You see what I'm saying? And that people are not righteous. You know, we're not supposed to join our hands with sinners to do judgment. We're not supposed to do that. You see what I'm saying? All right. But before we go into all of that, I'm going to go into the purple group. You know
I'm trying to fix that. Just keep going.
This group is out there on the corner teaching, and what they actually do is they see a brother up the street that has nothing to do with their camp at all. You know, you can tell because the shouting was from such a distance that, you know, where the brother was at, he wasn't bothering them at all. He wasn't even within 50 feet or so of them. He's doing his own thing. Yeah, was he sinning? Was he doing the transgression? Yeah, he was. You see what I'm saying? But, you know, all of these people are in the world. They're in the world and everything, and they're not claiming to even be in the truth. All right? And also for them to call the police on that man, right? That was a very unjust thing to do. Because the police is known for killing us. They kill us for things like, simple things. Kill unarmed black men all the time. And the only time they should be called is when it's severely necessary. Other than that, they shouldn't be called at all. They shouldn't be called over no dude peddling a dime bag of weed. Somewhere where you going and setting up your camp at. Or your group speaking or whatever, because it's only like the one camp out there, and that's the I.S.U.P.K. All right. Let's go to Exodus. And also this group also says that they will anybody that has wants, that they will snitch on them and have them locked up. Before we go into the scripture, now think about this for a second. And the dude that said this, so think about what type of neighborhoods he actually lives in. If he lives in a neighborhood full of black people, chances are 20% of the people might have wants. All right. So he's going to go out, right, and scout out those people who have wants and turn them in. What part of the scriptures is that? That's not the way, right? That's not the way the prophets did. The prophets did not do that. You see what I'm saying? The prophets, they went out there and prophesied. That's what they did. And you had all kind of people that were doing all types of stuff around, right? He didn't sit there and put it upon himself to go and get the authorities of another nation to sick them on a person that was doing a minor transgression. You see what I'm saying? The prophets didn't do that. I'm going to go to Exodus chapter 2 and verse 11. Exodus chapter 2, verse 11. And it came to pass in those days when Moses was grown, that he went out unto his brethren and looked on their burdens. And he spied an Egyptian smiting an Hebrew, one of his brethren. And he looked this way and that way. And when he saw that there was no man, he slew the Egyptian and hid him in the sand. Now, Moses went out and he killed this Egyptian that was smiting his brother, right? And he hid him in the sand. Now, was that a crime? Yes, it was a crime. But these Egyptians mightily oppressed black people. They mightily oppressed the Hebrews. You see what I'm saying? So now, and when he went out the second day, behold, 2 men of the Hebrews strove together. 2 men of the Hebrews were fighting, right? Because once you're oppressed by another nation, what do? Eventually, what we just start to turn on each other because we don't have no strength to do anything to that nation that's actually doing it to us. So what does it do? Everything turns internal. This is why black on black crime is so, this is why it's so much of it that goes on, right? Because you can't do anything to the people that are actually doing anything to you, and you never get justice, right? So what does it cause you to do? It causes you to turn on one another. That anger has to be at least unleashed somehow. And unfortunately, what do? We unleash it on each other. So that's why you see these 2 men, and they were doing what? They were fighting. So 2 men of the Hebrews strove together. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? Now notice, Moses didn't try to call the police. He didn't try and contact the Egyptian authorities or nothing like that, right? He went up to handle this situation himself. He's like, look, he's like, man, why are you 2 dudes fighting? You see what I'm saying? And as deep as this group was out there, they had such a problem with this dude that was doing this minor transgression, in the area of their speaking. They could have addressed that man themselves. And that man would have, either he would have just been a cussing match between that man and them or whatever, or that man might have just been ashamed seeing the fact that they got Bibles in their hand and squandered on off somewhere. That could have been handled a whole lot better than what it was actually handled. You don't call Satan in, you know what I'm saying? That punishment does not fit the crime. You don't sit there and call Satan in. You know what I'm saying? And at the time when you see a brother's doing, something minor like that. And he said to him that did the wrong, wherefore smitest thou thy fellow? And he said, who made thee a prince and a judge over us? Now, he automatically perceived Moses as a judge. You see what I'm saying? And he said, who made you that over us, right? Now, the scriptures tell us to set up judges and officers within our gates. Matter of fact, before we do it, let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 18. We're going to find out why did he ask Moses this. Deuteronomy chapter 16 and verse 18. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates. Now it says, shalt thou make, you supposed to make it. That's supposed to be made among the people. Now, if you ain't supposed to be setting no king over you that is of another nation, a stranger, then you're not supposed to be setting judges and officers of another nation or getting up under them so that you can be a judge of your people, and cruel according to their, and be up under them and inside their cruelty. You see what I'm saying? And then handling your people with that. You're not supposed to be like that. You see what I'm saying? You are supposed to be setting, that's supposed to be something that's supposed to be done internally. You see what I'm saying? Other nations, they understand this. They do that. They raise up judges and officers of their own people, just like, even with stuff like the mob and all of that, a lot of those groups started out as people trying to, police their own place because the police didn't deal with them like that. You see what I'm saying? Even though they were white, just like the people, just like the cops or whatever, and the people that, the government and all of that, they were still white, but at the same time, they were a different ethnic group of white people, and they operated, internally within themselves. They did this part of the law. But what do? We go run to the white man. Every damn time we go run into the devil. Now this group is supposed to claim to have the truth, but they're not operating like men in the Bible that had the truth. They're not operating like that. They're operating like the scribes and the Pharisees. The scribes and the Pharisees used the state power of the Romans to oppress the blacks that are in Jerusalem. You see what I'm saying? They used their power to do so. So not only did they, and the scriptures say was not to make any covenants with these other nations. What they were already people that were in authority, but they wanted the authority in two realms. They wanted it as far as in Jerusalem, and they wanted the state power of Rome also. You see what I'm saying? They wanted that too. They wanted both, and that's the same. That's the same thing that IUIC wants. They want the same damn thing. They want the power. They want the power as the Pharisees and the power as Romans also. You see what I'm saying? That's why one of the reasons why they always uplift Cornelius all the time. Judges and officers shalt thou make thee in all thy gates, which the Lord thy God giveth thee throughout thy tribes, and they shall judge the people with just judgment. Where's just judgment found at? Just judgment is found in the scriptures. That's where just judgment is found at. And then also too, it said that a man was shot. Also on that same block. I don't know if him getting shot was a direct result of them calling the police or whatever, right? I don't know if it was a direct result of that. But one thing that I do know is that they was dead damn wrong for calling the police in the first damn place. They was dead damn wrong. You see what I'm saying? It was dead wrong for that. And see, and then also too, based on the response of the people, the cameraman and the woman that was, and the people that they was cussing back and forth with, obviously it wasn't a just reason for them to call the police. You see what I'm saying? There wasn't a just reason behind it, because if it was, the people wouldn't have responded that way. You see what I'm saying? It's not like they pinpointed a certain dude and said, he shot this man right here. You see what I'm saying? That's what they just called the police. And they always brag on calling the police. They brag on it. That's an evil damn thing for our people to do right there, man. That's evil as hell. White man is the devil that the Bible speaks of. And anybody that sat there and joined themselves to the damn devil is a devil just like he is. And that group is known, they brag on calling the police. They brag on it. They believe in stop and frisk. They believe that a brother being molested up against a cop car. They're in full support of that. You see what I'm saying? Right along with the homosexual allegations that's against them, which, I mean, the evidence, adds up. You see what I'm saying? All the evidence against them adds up. So now it makes sense that they would sit there and say something like that about their for stop and frisk. And then also being the fact that they want to be police themselves, they want to be the ones to rub on brothers' balls. They want to be the ones to do that. You see what I'm saying? So with them being pro stop and frisk means they will be stopping and frisking brothers left and right if they don't like the way you look. You see what I'm saying? Thou shalt not rest judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons. Now, does this group respect persons? Yes, they do. Because when that thing happened back in 2009 with those two brothers that they had wrongfully, that their leader wrongfully had locked up, right? They did respect persons because they did not, if he figured that he was done wrongly and unjustly, right? Because those two brothers won a lawsuit. What did he do? He hid those white men and took all the hit himself. He hid those white men, and he did not make a mention of how the NYPD was wrong or none of that. You see what I'm saying? He never mentioned that at all. Thou shalt not rest judgment. Thou shalt not respect persons. Did he respect persons? Yes, he respected persons. He respected that white man that he called that he calls himself going out on the corners and teaching and prophesying against. Instead, what are they doing? They prophesying against the brothers, against their own nation, right? And at the same time, not only are they prophesying against their own nation, they're joining themselves with the white man to have their own nation locked up and thrown in prison and in jail. The scripture also says for you not to judge, and by the same measure that you judge others, it'll be given unto you. So while they sitting there calling the police over this brother that sold a nickel or a damn dime bag of weed or something, right? They got a way worse transgression, because the scriptures say for you to love your neighbor as you love yourself. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't believe that somebody should call the police on you, because there was another group, that one of the fake Israelite groups, they called the police on them. That was actually a branch that broke off from their group. And they figured that he was wrong. You see what I'm saying? Neither take a gift. Now, did he take a gift? Yes, he took a gift, because let me tell you what he actually did, because that case was in 2009, right? 2010. He was promoted to detective. Now, while the case is still pending, now think about this for a second. He was promoted to detective while the case was still pending, right? And the case went to the favor of the two men that were locked up, right? For $750,000, the two men were awarded that. Right? They were awarded $750,000, which is nothing. But, those men lost a year of their lives, lost their families, lost their jobs. Women probably done went out and whored on them, all of this, all of this happened behind that. And that $750,000 is not going to replace that year of their life that they missed when they were wrongfully accused, right? And put in 12 lineups, and the people said that they did not do it. He put them in 12 lineups. So that shows you, now you get to understand why they promoted him to detective. Because he showed them that he could hate black men with the best of them. You see what I'm saying? That's why. That's why they promoted him to detective while they have a lawsuit pending. As a matter of fact, if a lawsuit is pending, the person, the accusee or whatever, is supposed to be down there and demoted. But instead, he's promoted? Wow. Think about that for a second. And they sit there and say, just like, they sit there and say like the UPK brother that from Oklahoma that did the video and everything, based on the subject that happened, right? They sit there and say, oh, the I.S.U.P.K is wrong. The I.S.U.P.K is wrong, but they're not sitting there and looking at the wrong that they done sat there and did. They said I.S.U.P.K hate their brothers. What, just because we're talking about it? They're sitting there and doing hatred against the brothers, calling Satan in over a minor transgression that a man is doing damn near a block up. But yet nobody accuses them of hate, right? This is the problem with blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. We love the shiny thing. We love something things that shine. You see what I'm saying? And that group, for the time being, they're shining. They got a lot of numbers, you know what I'm saying? Got money, and they're traveling, and they're doing all of these, so-called great things, right? And you're judging based on that. You're judging based on the glitz and the glamour. And you're not judging righteously. Because if you were judging righteously, you would see where they were in the damn transgression. But instead, you judge in their favor because they got the glitz and the glamour. And then but then at the same time, you saying that we're wrong for saying something, for defending the brothers that don't have the glitz and the glamour and all that, that's trapped inside the ghetto. We stand up on the behalf of them against this shiny group. You see what I'm saying? That has influence, and you say we wrong. You see how you think? Neither take a gift, for a gift doth blind the eyes of the wise. Now, if a gift blinds the eyes of the wise, right? Imagine what it does to somebody that's foolish, and that group is foolish. So it damn sure blinds their eyes, right? You see what I'm saying? That was a damn gift. That was a damn, that promotion to detective and all that was a gift. You see what I'm saying? And he took a gift to pervert judgment. And then just think about it. He also gets promoted in a time where, he also gets promoted to detective amongst a bunch of racist white cops, right? And it's awfully funny because he accused the brothers and put those brothers in 12 lineups, but at the same time, he never spoke anything against the arresting officers. Those white arresting officers, his lips were sealed. So what side is he playing on for real? You see what I'm saying? He's not for the nation. He is for the white man who is the devil. He's for Satan. And so is his group. That's why they all want to become police officers. Now, let's go to back to Exodus, chapter 23, verse 1. Yeah, Exodus 23 and 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report. When he put those brothers in that lineup, that was a false report right there. He raised a false report. He raised a false report on those brothers because he sat there and tried to say that they did the crime, and he had them locked up in jail for it. Now, with this deal with them recently, with the man that was selling the weed, right? They gave a report, but it also talks about you not going into judgment with sinners. The white man is a sinner, right? It says for you not to go into judgment with the wicked. Don't put your hand forth with the wicked to be an unrighteous judge, as the scriptures say. As a matter of fact, I'm going to look that scripture up since they love to drop so many scriptures, right? The white man is a devil that the Bible speaks of. Oh, I was right at it. Okay. I was somewhere else. 23 and 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report. Put not thy hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. What was he doing in that situation? He put forth his hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness, and this is the fabric of their group. You see what I'm saying? The Most High is going to destroy all the fake groups. They're all going to be unraveled, right along with the Christian church. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil. Neither shalt thou speak in a cause to decline after many to wrest judgment. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. What does it mean to countenance a poor man in his cause? You judging him based on that man's his stature in society. He's of low stature in society, and this is the reason why all of the people that's defending this group and sit there telling the I.S.U.P.K that we're wrong, right? They do this. They countenance the poor man just like they do. That's why the IUIC calls, they call brothers bums all the time. You see what I'm saying? And while they sitting there calling brothers bums, right? What they're doing is taking all the resources from their group and all of that, putting exactions up on them, putting fines pretty much up on them and all that, and taking all of those resources and moving it over to some real bums over in Africa. You see what I'm saying? The poor Hebrews here in America, they call you bums. But the heathens, they call those needy, helpful people, and even call them Israelites. You see what I'm saying? Taking the resources, if so many black people are bums, right? Why not take those resources that y'all get, that y'all sending over to Africa, and provide opportunities for the brothers that are here in America, right? So that they won't be bums. You see what I'm saying? You calling them damn bums and you ain't doing a damn thing for none of them, except for taking money from them. You see what I'm saying? Neither shall thou countenance a poor man in his cause. Now, did they countenance a poor man in his cause in that situation? Yeah, they did. That poor man, brothers don't be selling drugs because brothers like to sell drugs. You see what I'm saying? I mean, you have some wicked brothers out there that sell drugs and everything, out of greed. But a lot of brothers are selling damn drugs. A lot of brothers is working a job and can't even make ends meet on that job, and they got to pick up a damn side hustle. You see what I'm saying? A lot of brothers is working and selling weed at the same time. You see what I'm saying? To supplement their income just so they can pay their damn bills. Yeah, it's wrong. It's wrong, no doubt. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, these dudes have no compassion or understanding because a lot of them was once in that damn same situation as that brother was in. You see what I'm saying? And just like it talks about, matter of fact, I'm going to look that scripture up. The disease you are pushed away with your horns. White man's devil, the Bible speaks of. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians separate from the white man. We're going to go to Ezekiel chapter 34 and verse 21. This is the chapter that talks about woe unto the pastors, right? Ezekiel, we're going to start at verse 20. Ezekiel, chapter 34, verse 20. Therefore, thus said the Lord God unto them, Behold, I, even I, will judge between the fat cattle and between the lean cattle. The Most High said he's going to judge between the fat cattle and the lean cattle. The fat cattle will be the ones, like the two, you know what I'm saying? Those would be the ones that would be like the ones that are pretty much have a high position, you know, in society. You see what I'm saying? The lean cattle will be the poor, the people on the poor side. Because ye have thrust with side and with shoulder, and pushed all the disease with your horns. Now, what does a horn represent? A horn represents power, right? Now, think about this for a second. Now, with that brother, you know, who was selling that weed on that corner, right? When they called the cops, you know, like I was saying, horns represent power, right? The police department is a horn of America. You see what I'm saying? That's one of the horns, just like the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, CIA, FBI. All of these are horns. These are powers of America, right? All right. Now it says the disease have you pushed with your horn. You know, the brothers that you know, poverty is a disease. You see what I'm saying? That impoverished brother that was sitting there selling the damn weed and all of that, you know, that was in that minor transgression. Now think about it. He gets the cops called on him or whatever. Say he's not the one that got shot. He got locked up or something like that, right? Now in his mind, he's gonna sit there and think, damn, these dudes that be out on the block, these niggas really hate us. That's what he's gonna think. And he, on the other hand, is going to be pushed away from, you know what I'm saying, even wanting to even be in the truth. You see what I'm saying? That's probably why the brother did his business so damn far away. He didn't want to be in the same little area, you know what I'm saying? And he didn't even come to the area. He wanted to be away from that, right? Because he knew that these brothers is out there teaching the Bible. You see what I'm saying? I mean, a lot of dudes that do dirt and everything, you know, they go and they do dirt or whatever, but then they be like, oh, wait a minute, they teaching the Bible over. Let me just go on over here. That's the way a lot of brothers are. You see what I'm saying? But then, of course, you have the brothers that don't seem to care, right? But even with the brothers that don't seem to care, it's still not your duty to sit there and call Satan in the mix. You see what I'm saying? It's not your duty to do that. You see what I'm saying? You're supposed to, if you're a prophet, you're supposed to keep prophesying. You see what I'm saying? And let the Lord deal with that. Or if anything, you should be telling the brother yourself to get off the block. And if he decides he don't want to get off the block, hey, fine. No sweat, no problem. He don't want to get off the block. Then you keep on with the teaching, the Lord is going to handle that. You see what I'm saying? And then somebody else from the damn, neighborhood, what I'm saying, might end up calling the damn police, but it shouldn't be you. You see what I'm saying? Who knows, the next time that brother come through and he see you out there, he might decide he ain't trying to sell the weed, he just want to listen now. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, the Lord ain't with that group. So, there you have it. Because he thrust with side and with shoulder and pushed all the disease with your horns. Your horns is your power that you use, the state power that you use. And you pushing them away with that. Till ye have scattered them abroad. Now think about it. You can sit there and call the police, and notice also too, I didn't see anybody standing in that video standing around really listening to them in a crowd. You see what I'm saying? What did they do? The police come on the scene and everybody scattered. And they even put that in one of their songs. It's a song on that video that Officer Kayas, I think the brother's name, it's a song that they were singing in that video that they made up themselves, singing about how when they hit the block, niggas scatter and all that. There was a song. Now, yeah, you're right. when when people hit the block, yeah, they scattered that day. And y'all were the only ones out there, y'all and the cops. Because he had thrust with side and with shoulder and pushed all the disease with your horns till ye have scattered them abroad. Yeah, that's what you did. Yeah, pat yourself on the back. Therefore will I save my flock, and they shall no more be a prey. Because what did you do? You called the damn hunter in to hunt them. And the Lord said he's going to save the flock out of your hands. They'll no longer be a prey to you. And your state power, your horns that you sat there and then called in to drive and scatter the Lord's sheep. And I will judge between cattle and cattle. The Lord's going to judge between cattle and cattle. He's going to judge between the fat and the lean. You see what I'm saying? But nah, what you want to do, y'all call him Satan, Y'all rose yourselves up as the unrighteous judge and partnered yourselves with Satan. You see what I'm saying? That's what y'all did. Now, we're going to go to Luke. Oh, wait a minute. It's also another point that I want to bring up too. Wait a minute. It's another point that I want to bring up. And the clip that they were supposed to be actually explaining what happened in the video. Instead, what their deacon, one of their deacons, the dude that called the police, in his comment, he was just looking through the comment section, not validating anything that he did by the scriptures. You see what I'm saying? Not sitting there and saying, not sitting there backing nothing up with scriptures at all. Now, the people in the comment section of this video were trying to back him up. And they brought out a couple of scriptures in which I'm going to, show what these scriptures actually mean, what they're actually talking about, the scriptures that they're going to sit there and then twist it for their own damn purpose. Right? Yeah, but like I was saying, though, he went through the comment section, and instead, what he was actually doing was, he said that Negro comes, soon as a Negro come on the scene, he gets nosy and pulls his camera out, right? And said he's nosy, pulling his camera out, but he's not thinking the fact that himself, he was nosy when he looked at that brother selling the weed and called the cops. He was being nosy. You see what I'm saying? While he sat there and called that brother, he sat there and got his scopes on that brother that's selling the weed, but then got mad when the brother came up with his cell phone and put his goddamn scopes on him. You see what I'm saying? Now remember the scripture when it says, judge not, lest you be judged, and by the same measure you judge others will be measured unto you. Well, he measured judgment by looking at that brother, selling the weed and called them cops on him. And what did that brother do? Broke out his cell phone and put the specs on him. You see what I'm saying? And put that, for the world to see. You see what I'm saying? Since he wanted to sit there and do that with that brother. But you know what he did? He called that man nosy, but didn't call himself nosy. You see what I'm saying? That's the way that these purple Kool-Aid dudes are. Yeah, what we gonna do now? We're gonna go to Luke chapter 3 and verse 14. When it talks about us setting up judges and officers within our gates, they're supposed to be nosy. That's the duty of any race of people. They always have watchmen inside their damn neighborhoods. You see what I'm saying? That's natural. That's something that people naturally do. You see what I'm saying? That's what the elders at the gate is supposed to do. Watch over every damn thing. You see what I'm saying? But they're not supposed to watch it. They just go call the damn cops. Why the hell you want to call the cops? So look, you're just showing that you ain't even manly enough to even handle small matters. You see what I'm saying? You ain't even manly enough to even, and all of those people that you got in that damn group, which is about 20 of you out there. You see what I'm saying? You got to call in Satan to handle a small matter. How goddamn weak does that make you look? Huh? How weak does that make y'all look? Makes you look real damn weak. Now you understand why their deacon guy was in the damn video clip that Officer Kayas had brought out. Their deacon was in there doing the damn Dougie, looking gay as I don't know what. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no strength coming up out of that. And this is a man that's supposed to be dignified. He has the title of deacon among them, right? But he's in the middle of the congregation, in the middle of a bunch of black women. You see what I'm saying? And in the middle of their panel and all that, and a bunch of black women who, love to call black men gay anyway, right? He's right in the center of them doing the damn Dougie. You know what I'm saying? Looking gay as the Dougie is gay as hell anyway. You see what I'm saying? And he was doing it to perfection. He was Dougieing his ass off. Get back to the topic. Yeah, I like that clip right there to be shown every damn where. That's one of the high up dudes. So also it gives, it gives confirmation to all the homosexual allegations that's against them because they keep being proven over and over again. Matter of fact, before we go to Luke 3 and 14, I want to go to I think it's Ecclesiastes and Apocrypha. Since we're on the subject of him doing the Dougie and all that, right? The Ecclesiastes, chapter 11, and chapter 19. And we're gonna start at the 29th verse. No, wait a minute. There's something else heavy up in here. We're gonna start at verse 28. We're gonna start there first. Ecclesiastes in the Apocrypha, chapter 19 and verse 28. And if for want of power he be hindered from sinning. Right? Now think about it for a second. For want of power, when they first come out in like 2003, they came out, like they was all for the people and all that. They weren't coming out straight out telling you didn't know that they were police, that he was the vast majority of people didn't know that their leader was a cop, right? Because I used to listen to him, I didn't know he was a police, and I listened to him in like 2009 or 2010 in that area, right? Now, this dude, now notice it said, I'm going to read this scripture again. And if for want of power, now, for lack of power, right? Because he wasn't in full pain or full power yet inside that group. They were still, just getting started, right? And you didn't start to see the evil until years later. So, and if for want of power he be hindered from sinning, yet when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil. And he found that opportunity because they grew big and very influential and all of that. So now, you know what I'm saying, they in black people's eyes, they can do no wrong. Now see, if this had happened back when they were in their infantile stages of growing, then black people would have been able to see, hold on, them niggas is wrong. Black people would have been able to see it then. But since now they glitz and glamour in the purple and the gold, you know what I'm saying? Now nobody sees it. Now the people that actually, go up against what it is that they damn did, now they're saying that you're wrong. You see what I'm saying? Because black people, we sit there and we judge a person based on his renown, his, what he got, his influence and all of that. We judge based on that. And then a lot of people, like a lot of the other fake Israelite groups, judge on behalf of them because they're evil also. You see what I'm saying? And the only thing that stops them from doing that kind of evil is also want of power, which means lack of power. But guess what? They certainly relate. And they're inspiring to be just like them so that they can do evil towards blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians also. And then another guy from the comment section said, he said, I.S.U.P.K had cops. It got police in their group. Brothers come into the I.S.U.P.K from all kind of walks of life. Some were cops. Some were drug dealers. You see what I'm saying? Some were this, some were that. Yeah. But here's the thing though. If you have an active cop that's in the I.S.U.P.K, he is going to be a man that is going to treat blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians right. You see what I'm saying? And his sights will be more set on locking up white people. And if he can't lock up white people, then guess what? That'll be a man that will quit that job and become something else. You see what I'm saying? If he's put in a position where he's forced to treat blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians in a wrong fashion, that man will quit. He'll quit that. And instead, he'll come and become an officer in the Israelite School of Universal and Practical Knowledge. That's an act of faith right there. You see what I'm saying? He'll leave that world and come into this. While the purple people, on the other hand, they'll tell you to be in that world and to be right alongside them. You see what I'm saying? They'll have an active and they will teach the doctrine of abusing black people. Just like they'll also teach that you can join the military. They'll teach people to join the military, right? But here's the thing. When that person goes overseas and gets his damn head blown off, they will not hold themselves accountable for empowering that man to go into the military and not telling him not counseling him and saying that what you're doing, brother, you shouldn't be doing that. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't be fighting for another nation. Instead, they'll let him go over and die. And will not hold themselves accountable. Who else do that? The Christian church. They do that too. They'll have a man, because it'll be a man that'll come inside the Christian church that been in that church ever since he was, ever since he was 3 or 4 years old, that they watched grow up. Now he's 20. Now he's some type of whatever the hell in the military, in the army or whatever, right? Now he'll go in there in full army dress and full army gear, right? And they will not even say to that man, they won't even look at him funny, knowing good and well that he packs a gun, when he's over there, and he's trained to be a killer and all that, right? They won't even tell him that he's in something wrong. But turn your wife against you, they don't blame themselves for that. You see what I'm saying? Anything that the sister that got the 5 abortions, they do not blame themselves. Nor will they chastise her for 1 abortion. You see what I'm saying? They'll sit there and say, well, the brother wasn't there to take care of the kids, so she did what she had to do. Wow, if the brother wasn't there to take care of the kid, then where was your support at? Why didn't you talk that woman out of killing that child? You see what I'm saying? But, guess what? That fake Israelite group will not do that either. They will take on the same characteristics as that Christian church. They are the Christian church. They just know that they're Israel. That's it. That's the only damn difference. The fact that they know that they're Israel, and then they fool people about keeping Sabbaths like they're really keeping the Sabbath. They're not keeping the Sabbath for real. How the hell they're keeping the Sabbath when they hating brothers? They hate blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, especially the men. They're keeping the Sabbath, right? You see what I'm saying? No, they ain't. Back on the topic though. Ecclesiasticus chapter 19 and verse 28, we'll take it from the top again. And if for want of power he be hindered from sinning, when he findeth opportunity, he will do evil. He found the opportunity. That's why he had those brothers locked up so that he could get that damn promotion. You see what I'm saying? And then once he got that promotion for detective, now he had even more power to do evil. And not only that, but his deacons and all of that, and his officers and all of that, or whatever, they fake little rank system or whatever, they inspired to be cops just like him so they can abuse blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians also. You see what I'm saying? But right now, since they're not cops, they still have a want of power, and that's the only thing that's stopping them from doing full evil. You see what I'm saying? That's the only thing right now that's stopping them from doing full evil. But let me tell you what they want to be. They want to be the Israelite branch of FEMA and ICE and all of them. They want to be the Israelite branch of that. That's what they're striving for. You see what I'm saying? They will be the ones. They want to be the ones that locking up Judah and Issachar. You see what I'm saying? They're helping the white man round up black people and everything. And I'll bet you if they had somebody that was border patrol inside the group, they won't tell him that he's wrong, and they got Mexicans inside their group. You see what I'm saying? But what did they do? They judge every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian that is not in IUIC as being wicked and evil and deserving capital punishment. You see what I'm saying? They're judging them in that fashion. So what do you think is going to come back on them? Because there's a scripture say, judge not, lest you be judged. By the same measure that you judge the others, it should be measured unto you. Now, verse 29. A man may be known by his look. Back to that guy that I'm gonna call him Deacon Abigail, like I've seen him being called before, Deacon Abigail, right? Was sitting there doing the Dougie and all that, right in front of the congregation, right? Looking gay as I don't know what. How a man acts is how the hell he is. If you see a nigga walking down the street and he's switching, you already know what that is. You see what I'm saying? You already know. You see him, he's switching and twisting, and all that, right? You can't sit there and tell people that man is straight. That's a gay dude. You see what I'm saying? A man may be known by his look, and one that hath understanding by his countenance when thou meetest him. Now, you can look at these dudes and tell that they really don't have the understanding, that matter of fact, they going a lot on the letter of the law and not even embracing the spirit of the law. You see what I'm saying? They twist and pervert the law. They don't have understanding. You see what I'm saying? They don't have it. A man's attire. Now, I said a man's attire means his clothing, right? What do they wear? They run around with all purple, right? So what are they trying to do? What does their attire say about them? That they have no individuality and they all want to be carbon copies of their leader. They all want to be a carbon copy. You see what I'm saying? There's no individuality in the nation of Israel. We never dressed all in the same color all the damn time. We never did that. You see what I'm saying? We never ran around with all just one color. We had different garments. You see what I'm saying? Different clothing. We've always been a flavorful people. And I'll tell you another thing that you can also tell. I'm going to break it down to their fringes also, right? Their fringes are the same fringes that be like what the Freemasons were. Those are Roman style fringes. You see what I'm saying? Those are the same kind of fringes that are on the American flag. Now, who worships and pledges allegiance to the American flag? Police. You see what I'm saying? Those same fringes are also on Freemason garments. The same style fringes. So now you understand why that group, IUIC, has them on their garments. You see what I'm saying? Has it, well, not even their t-shirts, right? Now, you can also tell by their attire that these are not men of war. They put fringes on a damn t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? Fringes on the bottom of a t-shirt. That's not the glorious warlike apparel like what we wore in the scriptures. We didn't go to war with that. You see what I'm saying? All the mighty men that were in the time of Moses that was in the wilderness, they wasn't running around with no damn purple on and little fringes on the bottom of a t-shirt and going to war like that. No, they had banging, powerful fringes. They had their, loins girded. You see what I'm saying? They were decked out in Israelite clothes, durable clothing, to where somebody could grab on it. You know what I'm saying? It would be durable, right? That's how they roll. You see what I'm saying? The 600,000 men that were ranked in the army system in the wilderness rolled like that. They didn't run around with a bunch of damn fringes on the bottom of a goddamn Hanes. You see what I'm saying? And notice, I'm going to go read that part again. A man's attire, right? His attire and excessive laughter. What were they doing in that video that he was doing the Dougie in? Excessive laughter. He's doing the Dougie and looking all, gay and everything, right? A man's attire and excessive laughter and gay show what he is. Now, when he was in that video doing the Dougie and all that, the high-ranking man inside their group, what did his attire and his gait, and his excessive laughter show about him? It showed what he is. It showed that he's a damn homosexual. You see what I'm saying? It showed that he's a homosexual. And it also showed, and look at who was laughing the most. Who was so happy to see that? Black women. Another thing too, you always got to pay attention to your audience, because your audience will start to tell you what spirit that you're in. You see what I'm saying? Your audience will start to tell you, I'm going to say this again. When you're doing a teaching or speaking or anything like that, right? Look at your audience, right? Your audience will start to show you what spirit you are actually in. Let me give you an example, right? Say, for instance, the group that wears the all white and blue, the GOCC, right? Their audience is filled up with white people that like what they're saying. Now think about this for a second. You know, not only them, but certain people that are supposed to be standing for black people, right? That is supposed to be like one brother that's on the YouTube, a whole lot of racist white people, which he's supposed to be wanting to fix black people, but a whole lot of racist white people like his stuff. Understand something. When a bunch of white people like your stuff, or a bunch of you projecting that out of your spirit, because their spirit is relating to you because y'all have something in common. And let me tell you what that thing is that y'all have in common, that they're clean, that they're joined, that y'all being joined together with. Both of y'all hate black people, and they pick that up about you. You see what I'm saying? The NRA members, if you got a whole bunch of NRA members that like what you like your stuff, you see what I'm saying? If there's an agreement there, y'all are in agreement, in an unspoken agreement, that both of y'all hate black people. That's why they deal with you. You see what I'm saying? If your audience is filled up with a bunch of black women, right, and effeminate black men that are up under them, right, you are projecting the same thing. Hatred for black men. You see what I'm saying? That's why so many of the sisters is coming, you know what I'm saying, come forth and loving you. And these are wicked sisters that hate their men at home. But they loving you. You see what I'm saying? They're loving you though. Right? Because y'all got something in common. Both of y'all hate black men. You see what I'm saying? And they pick that up about you. That's why the Christian church is full of women. And that's why they're funded. They get funding from white people. Because you are in agreement with them that you are going to hate black people, just like they do. Because if you actually love black people, right, they will start to defund you. So if you a group that's out there getting endorsements from white companies, if you're supposed to be speaking out for black people and you're getting endorsements from white companies and everything, right? And they're putting commercials and all of that, in your stuff, you are speaking towards their agenda. You're just disguising it differently. You see what I'm saying? All right. A man's attire and excessive laughter and gait show what he is. Now, what we're going to do now, let's go to we're going to go to Luke chapter 3 and verse We're going to go to verse 12. We'll start with verse 12. Then came also publicans to be baptized. Now, publicans were looked at, as not being, these were, people that were also dealing with the Romans, right? And said unto him, Master, what shall we do? Publicans, they dealt with the Romans. But at the same time, these were ones that wanted to repent, though. And he said unto them, exact no more than that which is appointed to you. Now, what did the publicans do? The publicans were actually tax collectors for the Romans. They would come into the city, right? They would come inside your city and they would get taxes. You see what I'm saying? They would get tax, like say for instance, you owed, let's give you owe 20 shekels to a tax for some business that you had or something like that, right? You owe 20 shekels. All right. Well, the tax exactor would come and he would charge you 25. You see what I'm saying? That 20 shekels, that would go to the Romans, and the Romans would give him his cut out of the 20, but he would have the increase, which he would have that 5 shekels extra that he put on you himself. You see what I'm saying? To fatten up his own pockets. You see what I'm saying? That's what the publicans did, right? And the soldiers likewise demanded of him, saying, and what shall we do? The soldiers were likened to like the police officers. They were, they were like the police officers and everything. And he said unto them, do violence to no man. Now, when it talks about do violence to no man, right? Because these soldiers were just like the police. And they were known for going and beating brothers down, trumping up charges on brothers, doing all types of manner of wickedness that the black cops do on brothers now, right? And when they said, what shall we do? Christ told them to do violence to no man, right? Now he told them to do violence to no man means don't abuse blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. And this not doing violence ain't just talking about don't go up and crack him upside his head. This is also talking about don't join with the damn people that you know is against him and throw that man's life away and try to have him thrown in jail siding with them. That's also violence too. And their leader did violence to those 2 brothers that he had in 12 lineups that he had thrown in jail for a whole damn year that didn't even do the goddamn crime. That was violence that he done. And what did Christ say? If you're going to be a cop and you're going to be you're going to call yourself in the truth, right? Do what Christ said here and do violence to no man. But instead, what did they want to do? They want to do violence. When they sat there, what did they do? When they called in Satan against that man that was selling the weed, they did violence to that brother. You see what I'm saying? Because they called in the devil, who is known for killing black men, right? Who's known for killing black men, and they, and they had that man, they sick Satan on that man, right? Well, that thing could have been handled a whole lot wiser if they actually loved their brothers, but since they hate their brothers, they don't handle it wisely like that. They call the devil, they look for maximum punishment upon that brother for a minor damn transgression. You see what I'm saying? Matter of fact, since they don't understand judgment, I'm going to teach them a little something about it. Proverbs. We're going to go to Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 10. White man's the devil that the Bible speaks of. And you should never call the devil on your, as a front line of damn business. The only time you call him is when you absolutely have to. Just so that you can, you see somebody killing some damn body up the damn block. You know what I'm saying? A situation like that, you see what I'm saying? That would be a good situation to have to call them in and use the damn Satan as a tool to save that brother's life. You see what I'm saying? But no one was in danger to the damn point to where they was getting ready to, somebody was getting ready to die or whatever. They gonna call on a man just because he out there selling weed. Proverbs 20 and 10. Proverbs chapter 20 and verse 10. I'm going to show you how much they don't understand about the law and about judgment. The I.S.U.P.K, we understand. Diverse weights. What is a diverse weight? Having a great thing of one thing and a small thing of another. Those are diverse weights. You put it on a scale and it does that. You see what I'm saying? The Lord wants a just scale. Even. Now, that always has to do with judgment. That's why when you look down at, when you go downtown or whatever, right? And you got the Hall of Justice or whatever, the woman's got a scale in her hand because that represents judgment, justice. You see what I'm saying? Now, was it a just scale? Let me go more into the scripture a bit. Diverse weights and diverse measures, both of them are alike abomination to the Lord, right? Because with him calling, now, dude was in a small transgression by selling the weed, right? That's on one side of the scale, right? It's not like he did a murder or any of that, or he was getting ready to kill somebody, right? That's up here on the scale. Their action concerning what he did, now say if the scale started out even, right? Now with him selling the weed tilts it a bit, right? Because selling weed is a crime. Their action, let me tell you what their action did. They called in Satan. You see what I'm saying? Who could easily took that brother and beat the hell out of you, whatever the hell to him that he wanted to, right? Their action was waiting, right? Weed dealer here, their action. You see what I'm saying? That wasn't balanced out. Now, if they had said, brother, you got to stop selling that weed. You got to stop such and such. If they had a did like that, and they had to talk about our people selling drugs, they would have put that brother to shame. You see what I'm saying? They would have put that brother to shame right there, and he'd have had to move up the block, or either he would have got, argumentative or whatever the damn case. But even if he did get argumentative and he's way up the damn block some damn where it's not like he's coming to assault you. You see what I'm saying? So like I said, you got the weed dealer right here, right? Which tilts the scale, and then you got their action, right? Now, is that an even balance or is it an unjust balance right there? Right? Because they could have easily came in and killed that brother. You see what I'm saying? Was that even or was that unjust? It was unjust balance, right? Now, if they had to handle it, like I said before, that would have evened out because, the punishment of blasting the brother, whatever, that would have been a more even scale right there instead of what they damn did. They sought maximum penalty for a minor offense. That's what white people do. That's what evil white people do right there. And they did the same damn thing. You see what I'm saying? And here's the funny thing about it too. Well, I'm gonna read more of this scripture right quick. Diverse weights and diverse measures, both of them are alike. Abomination unto the Lord means it's utterly damn detestable to the Lord. The action that they did was an action that was utterly detestable before the Lord. They just did it, they made an abomination before the Lord. Because they sought maximum penalty for that brother for his minor damn offense. You see what I'm saying? And if that cop had came, beat the hell out of that brother, blew his brains out, they would say, but they would have never took any accountability for that themselves. They wouldn't even sit back and said, well, Deacon Abigail, don't you think we overacted or we overreacted a bit? No, they won't even say that. You know what they'll say? Well, that nigga got what he deserved. That nigga was wicked as hell. That's what they say. He wicked as hell. That's how they say. That's how they be talking. And they judge every black, Hispanic, and Native Indian that ain't, and they even judge their own people like that. You know what I'm saying? They even do that even among each other. They got a brother that was wrong, and he done, got back out there. That nigga was wicked as hell. You see what I'm saying? They won't even try to let that brother get him back in the truth or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? He just took he called them up. He ain't getting no love from them at all. You know what I'm saying? They'll sit back and watch, and then it'll be something, they, like I said, the disease you have pushed with your horns, right? That's what the hell they do. Both of them are alike, an abomination unto the Lord. Even a child is known by his doings, whether his work be pure and whether it be right. So even if a child's works is known like that, their works was proven to be evil. You see what I'm saying? Their works was proven to be evil. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to go to 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 1. Now, check this out. Now, this is Apostle Paul speaking, and you can see the spirit, that he's speaking in, right? Now, if they were reading this scripture, they would read it to where it wouldn't even have its spirit and power to it. But I'm going to show you how the scripture is supposed to actually be read. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 and verse 1. Now, understand, this is a black man talking right here. The Apostle Paul, a black man of the tribe of Benjamin, right? Now, this is the Apostle Paul saying this, a man who also had great authority. You see what I'm saying? Super great authority and rank. It's, in the truth. Dare any of you, having a matter against another, to go before the unjust and not before the saints? Think about that for a second. Well, wait a minute, hold on. I'm going to read this again, because it's actually a question. Dare any of you, having a matter against another, go to law before the unjust and not before the saints? Like, what the hell's wrong with y'all? You know what I'm saying? That's what he's saying. Y'all sit there going to the unjust, knowing damn good and well that the white man is unjust, right? You got a problem with this brother of a minor damn offense, but you want to go straight up and call in the damn white man, his enemy, and you're supposedly your enemy too, over a minor offense that brother did. Wow, are you serious? over a minor damn offense that that brother did, you want to sit there and call your enemy and his enemy, right? And sit him against them. You see what I'm saying? Wow. Do you not know that the saints shall judge the world? Obviously, this is something that they really ain't setting in with them. Right. You see what I'm saying? It ain't setting in with them that the saints are going to judge the world. Let me tell you why. Because they ain't the saints. Right. It's just that simple. They ain't the prophets. Right. That's why that don't even register to them. You see what I'm saying? Right. Instead, they would rather call in the devil. You see what I'm saying? They don't even understand. They're not even thinking to themselves, because see, if that was setting in, they would have more in their mind to want to handle that situation themselves. That's right. You see what I'm saying? They would have more of a mind to do that. They're gonna have to think, well, we need to do more, such and such, and we need to just, get this word out, this and that, and not even put the damn devil inside of it. If you're gonna call the damn cops, call the devil on the devil. You know what I'm saying? Call the devil on some white dude that's offending the damn camp. But I ain't never seen that fake group call the police on somebody white. One time, there's some NRA dudes come out, right, against them at one of their camp speakings with AR-15s in hand, right? And they still didn't call the cops on them. The only reason why the cops came up on them was because the cops seen all of these people standing around with AR-15s in front of the purple group. Did the purple group call the police on them? No. You see what I'm saying? All right. They did not call the police on them at all. Because see, they don't call police on white people. Right. You see what I'm saying? And that's one of the unspoken policies inside the damn police department. That black police are there to lock up black people. That's why they don't call the police on anybody that's white. You see what I'm saying? If you call the police on a brother for selling a damn dime bag of weed, then surely you should call the police on every white person that violates your right to protest in your religious setting, right? And with them coming up with them AR-15s in your religious setting and trying to intimidate you was against the law. You see what I'm saying? Reckless eyeballing. Hell, you can get them for that too, because they were recklessly eyeballing you. That is a law that is actually still on the books. They were breaking the law when they came up to you, looking at you hardcore in your face in the middle of your religious demonstration, right? With AR-15s in their hand, they were actually breaking a law. Why ain't you call the police? I know y'all know the law as well. Y'all that damn camp full of y'all a group full of cops. I know you know the law. Why ain't you call the police then? Huh? Right. You ain't calling police on massive. You know your goddamn place, don't you, boy? The way they damn look at you know your damn place, don't you? Yeah, they look at that's the way them damn cops look at you inside the damn precinct. And if you had to call the police on them, you know that the police would have been more on their side, right? But instead, you still should have did it any damn way. If you'll call the police on a brother for a minor goddamn offense, you should have did it to them. Do ye not know that the saints shall judge the world? And if the world shall be judged by you, are ye unworthy to judge the smallest matters? that whole damn dime, that weed situation, that was a small matter. That wasn't no big goddamn matter. That wasn't no damn big matter. Know ye not that we shall judge angels? How much more things that pertain to this life? They don't have it because they don't understand this because they're not the prophets of the Lord. That's why they don't get this scripture. They don't understand any of these scriptures that I've sat there and that I've been breaking down. They don't understand none of them. You see what I'm saying? They don't understand any of these scriptures. Why they sit there and claim to be the men of the Lord. They ain't the men of the Lord at all. Now, time's sake, got to start to move on. I wouldn't mind rocking this class 3 hours. We're going to go to Ecclesiastes in the Apocryphal, chapter 11 and verse 7. Now, before I go into this, now there was in the YouTube comment section. In the YouTube comment section, one of the brothers, the only scriptures that I've seen actually come out, right? One of the dudes that was, he might have been a member of their group or whatever, he put 2 scriptures down, right? And he's going to charge the I.S.U.P.K. with violating these 2 scriptures, saying that we should have did these things right here, right? We're going to go into these scriptures right quick. Now it's time to go ahead and cut this problem. Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 7. This is the scripture that he broke out. This is what he's saying that the I.S.U.P.K. should have done, right? Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. All right. Understand first, and then rebuke. All right. This is what he's saying, right? Now, what more was there to be understood? They called the cops. You see what I'm saying? Regardless of what was going down. You see what I'm saying? And he shouted out himself, you shouldn't be selling weed to your people. Well, yeah, but that part is true. But at the same time, you shouldn't be calling in Satan over a minor offense like selling weed. You were in the greater transgression than what that man was. Now, if he had killed that man, which the cops are accustomed to doing, and you know this very well, that blood would have been on your hands. You see what I'm saying? Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. Now, with him coming to us with that scripture saying that we, before we examine the truth, right? Anything they hear about the I.S.U.P.K., they automatically believe it. They don't use this scripture then. You see what I'm saying? Anything that they say, if somebody said I.S.U.P.K. beats their women, they'll automatically believe it. They won't examine the matter, and then they'll automatically say it. And just like they say, I.S.U.P.K. men don't work and live off their woman and all of this stuff, they say all that stuff. Do they apply this scripture right here when they're saying that, right? No, they don't. And then they also go into, the scripture when it talks about if you have a personal ought against your brother, I think it's Matthew 18, they go into that scripture, then go to him and then thee alone. Well, did they do that with him, the man that was selling the weed? Why didn't they send a brother over to that man, him and him alone, right? And for him to say, what his problem, his fault that he had with that brother that was out there selling that weed, and to ask that brother, can you step off somewhere with that? Did they do that? No, they didn't do that at all, did they? No, they didn't. They didn't do that at all. Instead, you know what they did? And now they had the manpower to do that. If they wanted to apply Matthew 18, like what they always say, like what they try to tell us that we should do when it came to what happened with they elder Nathaniel and those brothers that he had locked up, they said that we should apply Matthew 18. Well, they did not apply Matthew 18 when that brother was selling that weed. You see what I'm saying? They had the manpower. They had about 20 goddamn purple Kool-Aid dudes out there. They could have sent 2 guys over there to handle that personal awe that they had with their brother. But did they do that? Hell no, they ain't do it. Because they don't care. They like rebellious women. They don't give a damn what this Bible say for real. They teach with the finger. You see what I'm saying? Blame not before thou hast examined the truth. They blamed that brother, and they didn't even examine the truth about the damn situation. They probably didn't even know whether he was actually really even selling weed or not. You see what I'm saying? I mean, hell, they bring up Trump charges up on 2 brothers and have them thrown away, for a year in damn prison and all that, right? Hell, they don't tell them what the hell they do. I don't put anything past them. You know what I'm saying? Understand first and then rebuke. We do understand first. They stand for us to understand first. Okay. Y'all's own mouths bear witness against y'all. Let me tell you the understanding that we got. When one of y'all's elders got up and said that, one of the elders got up and said, what did he say? If you in my neighborhood, we're snitching. If you have warrants, we're snitching. That's one thing, right? He also said, we're 4 cops in the hood, is what he said, right? He also said that. He also said that y'all are about stop and frisk. He also said that. One of the Hispanic brothers got on one of the little panels one time, and he was up teaching and said, it's not Esau you got to worry about, it's the Negro. He said that, right? Like we have power to do things to them and laws to do things to them. We ain't got that type of damn power. You see what I'm saying? But he's saying it's us that you got to worry about, right? Another thing too, a song that they were singing at the end of that video that Officer Kayash had put up on the YouTube, right? They were singing, we the 12, lock them up with no bail, we the 12. And then they were also saying that these were the lyrics of that song that they were singing. And they was pumped. And there was a bunch of them singing it too. Now, who do you think they were talking about locking up with no bail? They weren't talking about locking up the white man with no bail, right? They were talking about locking up blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians with no bail. Talking about we the 12. And when they hit the block, how blacks and Hispanics scatter and all that when they hit the block. You see what I'm saying? When Christ hit the block, did everybody just scatter? No, they looked at Christ and see, just like I was talking about earlier with your audience, who your audience is. Who was Christ's biggest supporting audience? His biggest supporting audience was the poor, was the sinners. You see what I'm saying? Though the poor, the ones that were oppressed and crushed, those were the ones that were happy to see Christ on the scene because he spoke for them. You see what I'm saying? Now, but you hit the block and those same people scatter, right? You hit the block, the same people scatter, and you talking about locking them up with no bail in the jail. You talking something totally different from what Christ did. You see what I'm saying? You speaking something totally different from what he spoke. You know who was singing the song that you're singing? The scribes and the Pharisees, who also had state power to arrest Christ. You see what I'm saying? They would sing that song. Now, now back to the scripture, back to Ecclesiastes. The second part of it said, understand first and then rebuke. We understand. We had, ever since that stuff came out, we have gathered a stockpile of understanding about that group. You see what I'm saying? That's why we are empowered to rebuke. Now, verse 8, answer not before thou hast heard the cause. We heard the cause. You see what I'm saying? We've been hearing the cause. Neither interrupt men in the midst of their talk. Right? We give y'all plenty of time to speak. We give y'all time to say whatever it is. You know, you have a setting with us. We'll give you plenty of time to try. You have plenty of time to try and explain that situation. Right? But instead, in that clip, in that video that they did, all they did was sit there and look at who would say things in support of them and trying to blast the people that were not in support of what they did. That's all they were doing in that damn video. You see what I'm saying? And any scriptures that they might have came out with, because it's still the damn video was so damn still and so sickening, you know, and it was so long and drawn out and all of that. I don't even know if they came up with any scriptures to even try to validate what it is that they, you know, try and justify what it is that they actually done. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even watch the whole damn video. I didn't have to. I just seen what he was doing at the beginning of the video. He's looking at how many people was in support of what they did and how many people wasn't. Really taking damn near like a damn census or something. You know what I'm saying? To see whether they're actually losing power or gaining power or influence in the neighborhoods and among blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians. You know why? Because they knew they messed up. You see what I'm saying? That's why he was doing that, right? You don't open the video up with that. You open the video up justifying what you did according to the scripture. Instead, all they were doing was accusing the people that wasn't in agreement with what it was that they did. Called them names and then sat there and judged them because one brother that was in opposition to what it was that they done, right? He misspelled Israel in his comment, and what did they do? They focused on that. On the fact that he misspelled Israel. Right? And they focused on that and laughed and all of that, right? Because he misspelled Israel. He switched the A and the E around accidentally, and they focused on that, right? Because they know that they was damn wrong. Instead of focusing on what the brother was actually saying, they was acting like because he misspelled Israel, that he was wrong in his cause of what he said. You see what I'm saying? That's the type of people that they are. They put it like he was wrong because of that. There was like a straw man argument, what they call a straw man argument. You know what I'm saying? That's almost like saying, you know, if you're a basketball player, right, and you're a cold basketball player, and you missed a layup one time and say that nigga should not go to pro because, you know, he missed that layup, right? Well, this is the same nigga that used to score 50 points a damn games. You know what I'm saying? That's almost like that. The dude was right in what he was saying. He misspelled Israel, and they focused on that. That's the type of dudes that these guys are. You see what I'm saying? That is judging. As a matter of fact, we're going to go to another scripture right quick, right? We're going to go to a supportive scripture right quick. We're going to go to Matthew chapter 23, verse 23. Let's break this thing down before closing out. Matthew chapter 23 and verse 23. Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees. Yeah, back then it was the scribes and the Pharisees, right? Now, Christ is saying, woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, because like I said before, the scribes and Pharisees also had state power on their side, right? To try and go up against, to go against the poor Hebrews that were in Jerusalem. They were able to use state power. That is what that fake Israelite group is actually striving for. That's why, like I said before, why they want to become police. They are today's scribes and Pharisees. Hypocrites, for you pay tithe of mint and anise, and coming and have omitted the weightier matters of the law. Now, what do? They do things on the appearance that seem to be righteous. It seems like they have the truth. You see what I'm saying? What do? They call themselves keeping the Sabbaths and the feast days and all of that, right? And knowing who the tribes are, and so people's misled by that. They're thinking that these people actually got the truth because of all of this. You see what I'm saying? They're doing things that make it seem like they got the truth, right? And have omitted the weightier matters of the law. What is the weightier matters of the law? The weightier matters of the law have to do with the very first, with the commandment that Christ said was the most important commandments, which is loving the Lord thy God with all thy mind, heart, soul, and strength, and loving your neighbor as you love yourself. You see what I'm saying? If that was one of their sons out there that was selling that damn weed, right? They wouldn't want some dude out there just to call the damn police up on them. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't want that. If it was somebody that was nigh and closer to them. But one damn thing is going to cost them money to try and get him out. You think they would go back and they would thank that brother that called the police on their son? Hell no, they would not. And I've omitted the weightier matters of the law. Let's see what they are. Judgment. Because like I said before, they omitted judgment because they judged with an unjust judgment concerning that issue with that man that had that weed. You see what I'm saying? And that whole deal with those two brothers that they had wrongfully locked up. They have, they despise that. Mercy. There it goes. Mercy. Did they omit mercy? Yes, they omitted mercy. Because what did they do? They called Satan in, who could have just as well killed that man for selling that weed. That was out there selling that weed. They could have killed him. I mean, damn, they killed the one brother for selling loose cigarettes. Hell, they could kill a brother over some weed. You see what I'm saying? But mercy, they were merciless. So they set Satan right in. Instead of applying Matthew 18 and taking one of them brothers or two of them brothers, if they figured that the brother might, try and get silly or whatever, 2 or 3, they had the manpower to send them up to that brother and be like, hey, brother, can you get off this block with that? That would have been applying Matthew 18 right there. You see what I'm saying? But they will talk Matthew 18, but they damn sure won't do it. Mercy and faith. They omitted faith, right? Let me tell you how they did that, right? Because if you out there at camp, right, and you speaking, and a brother's selling weed, he's smoking weed, and and he's like, 30, 40 feet away, you there with that cat speaking, you don't think to call the cops on this dude. You know that he belonged to the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Now, if it was a white dude out there, hell, why not call the cops on him, right? You know what I'm saying? That is an enemy race. You see what I'm saying? But being the fact that that brother actually belongs to the Lord, that is a problem that should be handled internally, right? And if that brother forbears and he does not hear, right? Then what you are actually to do, you're to leave it up to the Lord to handle that situation right there, which we have seen the Lord handle situations. You know, we go out there in the faith that the situations like that, the Lord will handle that, and we have watched the Lord handle situations like that in our camps. We didn't have to call the devil. You see what I'm saying? We didn't, and the Lord handled that the way that he seen fit. We didn't have to call Satan in. But since they have no faith, they have omitted faith, what did they do? They hop on the horn and call up Satan to come and get this brother for a damn minor trespass that that brother is doing a goddamn half block away. You see what I'm saying? These are ye to have done. Yeah, they should have paid the tithes and everything. They should have done that. You see what I'm saying? But there's also weightier matters like judgment, mercy, and faith. And they violated all of those when they called in Satan to come and get that brother. You see what I'm saying? These ought ye to have done, and not to leave the other undone. Right? Once again, an unjust balance. Once again, right? Unjust in judgment. Because on one hand, the people here paid, you know what I'm saying? You know, the scribes and the Pharisees here paid the tithes and everything. But on the other hand, right? You know, they have rested, you know, they were light in that. They were very light in that right there. You see what I'm saying? In judgment, mercy, and faith. Because they didn't care nothing. They were just like IUIC. You see what I'm saying? Now, verse 24. Ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat. Said they strain at a gnat, right? What is a gnat? A gnat is like that brother that was selling the weed. It's a small thing. But let me tell you another situation. Because we rocked our first Louisville camp last Saturday, right? Now, I get a phone call from my uncle. My uncle's a Christian. He's out in the Christian church. He's in the world, right? My uncle tells me that he went to a camp speaking with these purple dudes, right? And he went, and not with them, but he was listening in the crowd. He had on a ball cap. They told him that he was wrong for having on a ball cap. And my uncle is not a confrontational dude. He's not a guy that battles. He's not a battler. He's not that at all. So I know that they had to say something to him first, which my uncle also said exactly what I thought. They said they came at him and said that to him first. Why you got on a hat? You got on a hat. You know, they say they sitting there saying that. Now notice, I'm getting ready to understand. I'm ready to show you how they don't understand the law at all. You see what I'm saying? They don't understand it. They try to work their way around. You know, they have their own carnal understanding of the scriptures. It said, "Ye blind guides which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel." What's the camel that they swallow? The gnat would be, in that case, them looking at my uncle and having my uncle having on a hat. You see what I'm saying? They straining at that. You know, they straining at the fact that man's got on a hat. But the camel that they swallow is the fact that they all want to be police officers so they can abuse black and Hispanic men. That's the camel that they're swallowing. You see what I'm saying? ye blind guides, which strain at a gnat and swallow a camel. Now think about it. Now I'm going to prove further that they don't even have any understanding of the law with having their head covered. They run around thinking we got our head covered. You see what I'm saying? You got on a meat tree, they think you got your head covered. When meat trees are in the law, they think that the Apostle Paul came around and made a new law. The Apostle Paul didn't make a new law. If the priests wore meat trees, right? That obviously that is lawful. You see what I'm saying? But see, here's the way around that. They sit there and also talk about their brothers that go out and prophesy, in the cold. They down and laugh at those brothers like those brothers is crazy. Those brothers, they laugh at us when we be out there, in the cold and everything, right? We out there, if it's above freezing, we'll be out there. If it's above freezing, you're not in any danger. You see what I'm saying? You just gotta have a little toughness out there. You know what I'm saying? There's no snow on the ground, and it's 36, 37 degrees. Help, well, as a matter of fact, we'll be out there, if it's like 40, rather. 39 is, something like that. That's you're not in danger with that. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that can happen, which happens to me a lot, your ears get cold, right? So, of course, I make sure I got that nice meat tree war scarf and everything on. That's how we rock, right? So we can be out there in the cold because we're required to have, a headpiece on, right? But them, they think it's unlawful for you to wear a meat tree. You know what I'm saying? Or war scarf, they think it's unlawful because they don't understand the law. So you know what they do? Let me tell you what they do, right? Because the meat tree also covers your ears, you know what I'm saying? And it keeps your head from getting cold. Also, because we also had snow time in Jerusalem, right? It snowed in Jerusalem. Jerusalem didn't stay hot, around the damn year. If Benaiah, the captain of the host, slew a lion in the pit in the time of snow, that tells you that it goddamn snowed in Jerusalem, right? But let me tell you what they do, right? This is what they do. They will be in a place where it's cold, and then they all start migrating down to Florida so they can have camp. They migrate so they can have camp without having nothing on their head, right? They scared to wear a damn hat. They scared to wear a goddamn meat tree. You know what I'm saying? Or a war scarf with a hole in the top. They scared of that. You know what I'm saying? Because they think you ain't supposed to have nothing at all on your head. You know what I'm saying? They don't understand the laws at all. But they strain at a gnat. They look at us and see us, you know what I'm saying? Which we're completely lawful by doing so. You know what I'm saying? This ain't even a gnat, but we out there with our meat trees and war scarves and headbands and headpieces and all of that on. To them, we're sinning because we have something on our head when a meat tree is lawful according to the law. You know what I'm saying? Now, them teaching against you having a meat tree on is unlawful because if the Lord said it is lawful, you can't turn right the hell around and say that it's sin because sin is transgression of the law. So who the hell is in the damn transgression? Who's in the sin? They are. Because they teaching against the law. By teaching that it's unlawful to have a goddamn meat tree on, you're teaching against the law. If you're teaching against the law, you can't be teaching the law. And if you ain't teaching the law, then what the hell are you doing? What the hell are you goddamn doing other than what the Christian church is doing? You're doing the same thing there that the Christian church is doing because you're a Christian just like them. You see what I'm saying? Y'all have no understanding of the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord at all. You know what I'm saying? That's why the Most High is going to bring down y'all's damn groups. He's going to bring them down to the damn ground, and y'all going to blow away just like the rolling thing in the damn wind. You know, in the years to come, y'all going to seem like y'all never even damn existed. Y'all going to be just like the one dude that had the following of 400, and then they all messed around and became winning the way of the damn ostrich fella. You see what I'm saying? Once the Most High smoke him, right? That's how it be going down. And with that being said, we are the I.S.U.P.K. coming out of 1 West on the 25th Street, Harlem, New York, and the Commander General Yohanna. Pay your tithes, pay your, and use just judgment when it comes to things. Don't be like those damn dudes. Get inside the I.S.U.P.K. and learn what these laws, statutes, and commandments are actually saying, and learn how to break down the things that the Apostle Paul was talking about. Because the Apostle Paul was not teaching against the law. As a matter of fact, he was causing you to understand it better. You see what I'm saying? And with that being said, shalom.